Do you live in this yellow shaded region right here, or even this green shaded region that surrounds it? If you do, a very active day of weather is ahead for you with some strong to severe storms that are set to develop this afternoon across this region that could produce all hazards. We're talking tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail, all possible with this cluster and line of storms that develops later this afternoon and into the evening. They'll have to watch very closely as a spike of moisture today will be very important and determining exactly where the severe threat will set up the most. So we're going to bring you guys all of this information in this morning's video and try to keep you guys updated and safe. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Charlie, and I make videos like this to keep you guys informed so that you can make your preparations and decisions and stay safe out there. So please consider liking this video if you like it. Consider subscribing to the channel if you've not done so already. This really helps me out and helps the algorithm know that this video is helpful to people. And lastly, and most importantly, please consider commenting down below where you're watching from. I would greatly, greatly appreciate knowing where my audience is watching from. So let's get started right now. Let's look at our outlook for today. This is kind of going to be the foundation of all of our model guidance. And I want to preface this with the idea that this could change in some way or another. There could be changes to this by the time you're seeing it, but I think this is a very good way to kind of summarize all that you're about to see. So, in these areas of green, we'll start with the lighter criteria first. All the way from the Del Rio areas of Texas, all the way down here to the Mexico border, all the way up through Cincinnati, Ohio, we have a risk for severe weather. Inside of that, this yellow shaded region you see here, from central areas of Texas, just north of Waco, all the way up to southern Illinois here through Missouri and Arkansas and a large portion of Oklahoma, this is an area where we're going to have to watch for more intense severe weather to develop. It is possible that by the time you're watching this, we have another risk included. And if it's going to be anywhere, I think it's going to be right in here. We could have a level 3 out of 5 risk. I'm not calling for that. I'm not a professional, but I could see that happening under the right circumstances. Now, let's break this down by type. We do have a 2% risk of seeing a tornado within 25 miles of any given location today in this area of green you see here. So again, from the Waco area of Texas all the way up to Evansville, Indiana here. So through a large portion of Arkansas just north of Little Rock, southern Missouri here, and a large portion of southeast Oklahoma, we will have to watch for the potential for some of these storms to produce tornadoes. And we also do have a wind risk today. This brown area you see is a 5% risk of winds exceeding 55 knots or greater. And in this yellow shaded region you see here, extends from pretty similar areas. This is a risk where a 15% risk where we could see winds exceeding 55 knots or greater. So it's just a higher confidence area. And of course, hail is the full-size outlook. This outlook is predominantly for hail, with some colder air moving in aloft. So let's get into what this could actually look like reflected to the surface. So this is our broad look first. We're going to take two views here. This is the first one, and this is the broad one. So this is to get a general idea of what's going on here. So this is our radar starting off right about now and moving throughout the day. So you can see there's a lot of moisture in the central areas of the country, as well as snow in the higher elevations out west. And as we continue through the next couple of hours, we'll have to watch as these clusters of storms, and again, we'll take a closer look at this, make their way into the risk area and could be producing all hazards throughout the day here. And this is getting into the afternoon here. A more defined cluster of storms develops in this area. We do have maybe even some flooding rain getting up into Ohio, and a lot of snow in the higher elevations out west. Otherwise, in other areas of the U.S., it is pretty quiet. So that's why I'm only taking this view here. But this is getting into tonight and towards midnight, and all of this moisture starts to translate off to the east. So I'll have to watch for that. But otherwise, here is our main view. No need to get overly detailed with this. So let me explain to you what we're going to have go on today. I'm going to do a few different things. First off, I'm going to explain what you're looking at. So this map right here is of the 500 millibar pattern. So these black lines you see, like this one right here, these are our geopotential height contours. So just think of those as the way that we read the atmosphere, okay? And these greens and blues and even yellows you see, These are areas of stronger winds aloft. This is about 18,000 feet above your head on average. And so you can see we have a short wave trough, a little dip in the jet stream right here. And what happens with these is that you can draw a line like this one. And out ahead of this line, downstream from this line, we have lift in the atmosphere. It can get storms going. So let's move this map a little bit. This is starting off right about now and moving on. You can see these winds pick up a little bit in Oklahoma and Kansas here. Now, that is not to say that that's exactly where the storms are going to be, but it means that this trough is strengthening and maturing a little bit. This is getting into the early afternoon. Let's move in a few more frames. So let's take this frame right here, for example. We have a very robust shortwave trough here. Very robust. Those lines are not exact, just general idea. So it's digging more like this now. So it is taking on a negative tilt. That's very favorable in severe weather. And just this broad flow over this region. You can see it underlaid here by these contours. This is our risk area. So this is what's driving the weather. This is why we have this risk. And we can move this a few more frames here and it moves its way out. So let's take a closer, more detailed look at just the most of this risk area. Not all of it, just the majority of it. This is starting off right about now. We're going to have to watch. We'll see by the time we're waking up tomorrow, by the time we're seeing this video and the time you're seeing this video, what this cluster of storms is doing. Exactly where it is will be important, but not overly detrimental. So let's move on here and get a general idea of what's going to go on. So this is starting off now, and over the next couple of hours, getting towards lunchtime or so, this cluster of storms could move into the risk area. So we're getting into areas of southeast Oklahoma, central Missouri here, and northern Arkansas with this cluster of storms noted by these reds and yellows. We move this on a few more frames. And for example, this frame right here is about 3 or 4 p.m. Central Time. And we have clusters of storms. These could be producing all hazards if the environment is right. So I have to watch for these. Definitely could be dangerous storms out there. And these continue. This frame right here, for example, is more of a dangerous look. This is right about 7 p.m. this evening, Central Time. And there's just clusters of storms in this risk area. It looks like the Storm Prediction Center so far has nailed this. And everything kind of gets messy and clustered. This is where you would watch for damaging winds to develop as these storms interact with each other. This is getting out towards midnight tonight, so a little bit further away, but regardless, there's our closer look, and we even might need to be watching this little cluster or bow echo of storms getting out into tomorrow morning. We'll have to watch for that. It's included in this risk area, so we'll have to see where it goes. So now that we're done talking about that, let's talk about temperatures for just a minute here. This right here is starting off, or really this is just to show you your high temperatures across this region. So let's go one more frame. So this is our general setup for today. You can see there is definitely some sort of boundary here with cold air kind of pressing down from the north. And obviously to the south of that, we have the southerly return flow bringing warmer air up from the Gulf. And this is essentially our daytime high temperatures today. So a very nice day in many locations of the south. And even in this blue here, that doesn't mean it's freezing cold. It's still in the 50s. Once you get into this purple color North Dakota here, this is where we could be dealing with high temperatures only in the teens. Very cold day. But even the Northeast might get it on some more warmth. And upon closer inspection, you can see that these temperatures really are indeed warm. And I've said this in the last couple of videos, I'll say it again. These videos like this, and the maps that I show, like these closer ones here, include areas that I know I have viewers watching from. So if you live, say, in Oklahoma and Texas and you'd like to see this, please let me know in the comments and I can consider adding you. But this is for the Southeast. So there are 80s in the southern areas of the Gulf Coast states and Florida here. And you can see mid to upper 70s across all of the region. Very nice, warm day ahead. Very excited about that myself. So let's move up the coast a little bit. This is getting into the Carolinas, Virginia, points north. So there is a boundary here. Once we get into Virginia, points north, that divides these 50s from even the 70s to the south. But even, I mean, every county on this map that you see right here is a nice day. It really is. It isn't until you get more up into the Northeast things could cool off. But man, I don't know when the last time it was that Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, all of southern New England was in the 40s and 50s. You guys can let me know. Please do down in the comments when the last time was that you guys actually reached that temperature. It's been brutally cold up in this region. So I'm sure this is a very welcome sight for you guys. So I'm excited for you guys to finally warm up a little bit. You can start melting some of this snow that you've got if you still have some on the ground. But other than that, other than our severe weather threat, really nothing too crazy to cover for today. We'll just have to watch this severe weather. And I mean, as we make our way into the evening hours, if anything goes absolutely insane and it's worth coverage, I might go live. But other than that, thank you guys for tuning in to this video. Please tune in this evening for a forecast discussion that will go more in depth with all of the latest and greatest for model guidance and outlooks, all those important things that we look at. So tune in then, and if nothing else, I will see you in the next one.